Hey everyone, this is Randy from BibleBuyingGuide.com. Today I'm taking a look at a new Bible from Thomas Nelson in the Premier Collection. This is the personal size large print KJV with end of verse references. And to my knowledge, this is the only single column verse by verse end of verse reference edition available. They do have this available in a different cover, but this is the only one that I know of. So here is our information, 10-point font, words of Christ in red. So let's just take a look here. First, brick red. I love this red. It is a good, vibrant red. Goat skin, a little bit of a grain. Perimeter stitching. It's soft to the touch. Edge-lined leather with a decorative gilt line around the inside perimeter. 5 raised spine hubs, and there's the spine. And here's a little bit of a rounded spine, which is my favorite, and that's my preferred right there. 3 ribbons, gold for the Old Testament and black also for the Old Testament, and then a burgundy for the New Testament. Looks good. I like it. Has overcast stitching. There's that stitch line all the way down. I only see this in the front. That does give it extra structure. This is the 36 GSM premium European paper that's used in all of the Premier Collection. Here's our information, printed in China, typeset in the KJV typeface created by 2K Denmark. And the font is very dark. The red is dark also. I love this red. All right, so it doesn't want to stay open really well in the front, so it's going to take some breaking in a little bit. I preached from this today. I actually preached from this page, and I had to hold it while I was reading. But I hope that'll break in a little bit. But here's our 10-point font, about 14 words per line, with enough space between the lines to help make it readable, verse by verse, with references at the end of verses. And there are not a lot of references. And then footnotes in the footer, and they do include the updated words. And this is black as far as highlights. So black chapter numbers, black verse numbers, black text in the heading, in the header. Now also in the header we have the book name, chapter and verse number in the outer corner, and then page number in the center. Lots of section headings that break up the text, but no other formatting. It does not include letters. Does not include a poetic setting or anything like that. When I preached from it, I did have to track with my finger to help keep my place, probably because I'm not used to it. I'm used to around 10 words per line, so I'm sure that would get easier. Paper is opaque and easy to turn. Text is printed with line matching. There's the red letter. That's a good dark red. I like that red. It's easy to read, easy to see. I have no issues reading this. It looks excellent. Highly consistent in both the red and the black. Then we have a concordance. Not a large concordance, but it is enough to help with study. Here are the references for God. And then we have Godhead, godliness, godly, and that's it. It does not include proper names, but it does include parts of speech. When the word has more than one part of speech, the part of speech is given, and they are separated. And then maps. These are the standard Zondervan maps. 7 maps on semi-gloss paper, thick paper. They are annotated. It does not include an index, but they are annotated. Easy to read and see. And that is it. It's a beautiful little Bible. I like carrying this. I like holding it. I like reading from it. About a 6 by 9 1/4. This is the overall size by 1 3/4. That's the overall size because if you're looking for a case, that's the size you need to know The publishers always give you the trim size, which is going to be about 5 and almost 5.5 by 8.5. And it weighs 2 pounds, 9.6 ounces. There isn't a lot to compare this to. So I will compare it to the Sovereign, just to show the size. It's a little bit larger than the Sovereign. Not a lot, but just a little bit. And then the paper in the Sovereign is not as opaque, and it's a little bit whiter. I prefer the slightly off-white color of the premium paper. So Sovereign is a 9.5 point, and then the single column is a 10 point. And then both are red letter, so let's compare the red. So there's how the red looks. Now the Sovereign does have more tools. It does have a lot more references. It has book introductions, small book introductions, a single column Psalms and Proverbs. So it's probably the closest that you're going to get from Thomas Nelson. The closest you're going to get from Zondervan is the NASB Heritage Passaggio setting. I like this one. They are similar in footprint. Passaggio is a single column in prose and a double column in poetry. But it is a verse by verse. And here's how they compare. So if you're familiar with the Passaggio, the Heritage, then it gives you a good idea of what the King James is like. That's an excellent Bible. I like that one. The only other large print end of verse reference edition that I know of in premium quality is the Hendrickson Hallmark Reference Bible. And it is very similar in size. Made in Italy. It's an excellent Bible. I like that one. It's not printed with line matching. It does have end of verse references. So here's how they compare, give you an idea. The paper is not quite as opaque as the Thomas Nelson. The font is not quite as dark. That's the only other premium edition I'm aware of, and with an end of verse reference in large print personal size. So that's my super quick look at the KJV personal size large print reference Bible. And as you can tell, it is a single column. And I like this. I like this a lot. I typically don't preach from and read from text that's this wide, but this doesn't bother me. It doesn't really fall so far into the gutter that I have issues. I do track with my finger, so that does help me keep my place. It doesn't have a lot of references, so if references are your goal, this is not the Bible for you. But if you just want a few, just the basics, then this is a good choice. I like that they separated the footnotes from the references. Another thing about the references, it does not include reference keys in the text. So the text is clean and easy to read. It does have the footnote keys. So you'll see A and B, but you're not going to see a 1, 2, 3 or anything like that. And the footnotes do include the standard footnotes as well as the updated words, which I like. So the glossary is on the page. I like that. A little bit of margin space there. Not much, but just a little bit. If you want to make a note, you can get something in there. It's a good size for carry and reading. 10 point is my standard nowadays. It's hard for me to use much of anything else, anything smaller especially. So yeah, this is a good size. I like this. I highly recommend this Bible. I like it. Actually, I like it more than I expected to. I would like to see a poetic setting, and I would like to see letters that look like letters so that you can know at a glance that something's poetic or something is a personal letter. I just like the genres of writing to look like what they should be. But that's me being me. I like artistic look. And, you know, the KJV is the most poetic translation, but it has the least poetic layout. This does help, though. This does make it more readable, in my opinion. It does make it a little bit more visual. I do see a slight bit of glare on the paper under this lighting, but not under all lighting, just under certain lighting. Paper is easy to turn. I don't find the cross references to be a distraction when reading. They're away from the text enough that they don't really get in the way. So I like this. So if you're looking for a single column KJV, this is a good choice. I like this a lot. So I will leave links in the notes so that you can make a purchase if you're interested. Thomas Nelson did supply this in exchange for an honest review. I'll also place a link for the written review at Bible Buying Guide where you can see more detail, because I always go into more detail and give more information in the written review. If you have any questions, let me know. Thanks.